Hi, let me introduce you to the starman, Homo Naledi, named after the cave system in which they were found. Now, how did Homo Naledi change and challenge our understanding of early humans? Homo Naledi, as seen before you, is a recent discovery in 2013 of a new species of early humans. They were found in 2013 by Richard Hunter and Stephen Tucker in the Rising Star Cave Systems in the Cradle of Humankind, Gauteng Province, South Africa. After contorting themselves 40 feet down a narrow chute in the Rising Star Caves, Tucker and Rick Hunter found themselves in the Naledi chamber. In this chamber, they found the floor scattered with bones, which they at first assumed were of modern humans. They only found out later that they were not, in fact, modern humans, but thousands of years old. This was a surprise, as they weren't stone heavy like most fossils you find, or covered in stone of any kind. They were just lying about on the surface as if somebody had tossed them. The circumstances in which the specimens found their final resting place in the cave is still up for debate. Some think that the bodies were placed there by other humans as a kind of way of burial, or simply to get rid of the bodies, as it had already been ruled out that the remains were moved by water. Professor Stringer of the Natural History Museum isn't convinced. He says many experts, including himself, consider such complex behavior unlikely for a creature with a brain size close to that of a gorilla, particularly when a requirement for the controlled use of fire or lighting probably has to be added in. He thinks alternatively, it is possible that now and again individuals sought refuge deep in the cave to escape predators or other humans. Without light and climbing equipment, once deep in the cave, there may have been no way back. Over hundreds or thousands of years, this behavior could have led to an accumulation of bodies deep in the cave. In the Naledi chamber, Tucker and Hunter found 1,550 fragments, 1,413 of which were bone specimens, and the other 137 were isolated dental specimens, and 53 teeth were still found attached to the jawbones. Altogether, 15 hominin individuals were found. Pathologists speculate that the discovery of such a large collection of remains deep inside the Rising Star Cave complex suggests that the species was capable of ritualistic thought, a trait previously thought to have risen much later in human evolution. Hunter and Tucker found an additional 133 Homo Naledi specimens in the Lesedi chamber that same year. Altogether, these fossils were dated between 335,000 years ago and 236,000 years ago. This is amazingly young for a species that still displays primitive characteristics found in fossils about 2 million years old. Homo Naledi shares many similarities and many differences with modern Homo sapiens. Their brain size was around 450 to 600 cubic centimeters, which is only half of the Homo sapiens brain size, which is about 1,300 cubic centimeters. Their hands were better adapted for tree climbing, however still adapted for holding tools. Homo sapiens' hands are, however, better for clubs and finer tools. Their feet, like the Homo sapiens, are adapted for terrestrial lifestyle of wandering around on their 2 feet on the earth. Their shoulders were also shaped in a way that would have aided in tree climbing. Their height was about 150 centimeters, which is shorter than modern Homo sapiens. However, it is 25 centimeters taller than the early Homo sapiens. They weighed about 140 kilograms, which again is lighter than modern Homo sapiens, but heavier than early Homo sapiens at about 25 kilograms. Homo naledi would have been around at the time just before the first Homo sapiens were in existence. Due to archaeologists not finding any more Homo naledi remains in other areas outside of southern Africa, it is hard for us to pinpoint their date of extinction. The discovery of Homo naledi also challenged our understanding of early human migration patterns. The discovery, it was believed that early humans migrated north from Ethiopia, the site of the oldest human remains found to date, through to Europe and Asia, and only later migrating south into southern Africa and Australia. However, Homo naledi is evidence that humans travelled south into southern Africa earlier than we expected. Scientists have speculated many reasons for the migration of early humans. The biggest reason is agreed to be climate change. The temperature controlled the food and the water needed to survive. The humans followed the greenery and the animals that fed on it all over the world due to their early nomadic ways. The annual rainfall also affected the human's environment. Periods in which it rained too much or too little would have affected the plants and animals around the humans, forcing them to move to find food and water they needed to survive. The melting glaciers and the lowering of sea levels allowed early humans to follow their prey as the herds wandered to find their own necessities. As seen in the graph presented, there was an increase in temperature around 320,000 years before present. This increase in temperature would have led to the equator becoming extremely hot and humid. This would have encouraged the early humans to travel either north or south to find cooler weather. This is a possibility as to why the Homo naledi species travelled south into southern Africa to make their home. In conclusion, the discovery of Homo naledi has changed the way we view human evolution and early human migration patterns. It has also brought up many questions on the behaviour of early human species. Thank you for watching.